I think it's time to go and target some wild trout. There we go. Gorgeous brook trout. Oh my gosh, guys, you see that violent take off the top? Got him, guys, got him. What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Connecticut Angler. Now, as you can see, I am out here in the woods on a dirt road in Litchfield County, Connecticut. And today we're doing something that we haven't done in quite a while on the channel. You know, all throughout March, I was out there enjoying those spring stockings in a variety of the stocked streams here in the state. But frankly, guys, I'm getting a little tired of the stockers. I mean, at least for the time being. And I think it's time to go and target some wild trout. And that's why I have come out here to rural Litchfield County to see if I can't dig up some wild browns or some wild brookies. Now, I actually had a particular stream in mind, but en route to it, I started driving down this dirt road here, and I'm looking down in the gorge and I see another stream, one I didn't plan to fish, which I don't even actually know the name of. I'm gonna have to look it up. But it looks fantastic. And I would be very surprised if there weren't at least some brookies down in this gorge. It looks like it's gonna be quite a climb down there, but I figure we should definitely stop here first. Okay, correction. This is the stream I plan to go to. It just so happens to be that I'm quite a bit further upstream of the location on this little brook that I had originally planned to start my outing here. So I think I'll start here since it looked so damn good. And we'll fish here, we'll see what we can find, and then we'll head further downstream, maybe a little later on in the day, and see what else we can find. I'm gonna get the waders on, I'm gonna get rigged up here, and we're gonna hit the stream. Let's get to it. You usually see me using this net here. This is my rubber mesh net. I don't know, I just think it's the best net material they make. I mean, it's gentle on the fish's slime coat. It's got big enough holes that hooks don't get caught up in it. It's just the ideal net material. Fact of the matter is, I was actually out on a wild trout stream the other day, attempting to film another episode in a completely different part of the state. I actually did net a beautiful little brown and a little brookie, and I had them in the net for about 5 seconds, and boy, the bugs fly on my face here. And in the process of just taking the moment to try to get you some B-roll of these fish, they were actually able to wriggle through the mesh of the rubber net. So the smaller holes of this mesh net are going to be necessary for this particular stream. All right, guys, we are rigged up here. I've got my 3-weight with me today. That's really all you could possibly need for a small stream like this. And I'm going to be working a dry dropper rig with an elk hair caddis, and I think I'm running a size 18 hares here as my dropper right now. But I also have some pheasant tails of comparable size that I may swap in. Oh, and there's one more thing that I should mention. This stream is unlisted in any of the state documentation, meaning that it's not in the state fishing guide. Obviously, it's not a stocked stream, which means that on this channel, it doesn't get named. So this is Secret Stream D. I gotta love this, guys. Green foliage of the skunk cabbage. This just exquisite small stream. I could do without the whirring of the, I don't know, whatever machinery is up there. But besides that, boy, this is just idyllic. Now, I don't know how much of this you can make out, but when I say that this stream is extremely shallow, I mean, let me just give you an example. My feet aren't even covered where I'm standing right now. And even up ahead where it is maybe a little bit deeper, I mean, it's still like right here is probably the deepest part of this pool here. And it just comes over my ankles. When I say this is a small stream, guys, that's not an exaggeration. This is an extremely small stream. But don't let yourself be lulled into thinking that a place like this couldn't possibly hold trout, because in fact, little tiny streams like this, the places where you might least expect to find any sign of life at all, at least, you know, in terms of fish, are the places where these little wild trout thrive. All right, this is a nice little pool right here. I am gonna have to kind of start being a little stealth for some of this. You might also notice, guys, that I'm doing a lot of bow and arrow casts. And when I do one of these bow and arrow casts, it's kind of important that the hand that's holding my flies be almost in line with my rod. And so on that cast, I have to kind of turn. But, you know, I'm gonna make sure that as I cast, I turn back around pretty quickly so that you can see what's going on. Now, this water is extremely clear, which means that in order to sneak up on these fish, I'm gonna have to stay pretty low to the water. You might think it wouldn't matter, but in fact, it makes a world of difference. If you just walk around all willy-nilly on these streams, you're gonna leave going, nah, there's nothing there. But in fact, the fish just knew you were coming from a mile away. Ooh, I thought we were gonna get something out of that little pool. Now, you're not gonna see me spend an enormous amount of time at each of these pools, because again, these are very small pools, guys. They're not big at all. You know, you don't need a lot of time to cover them. And in a stream this tiny, and I'm generalizing here, but in a stream this tiny, there's not going to be necessarily a massive abundance of food. More often than not, if there's a fish in that pool, they will probably take relatively quickly, as long as you're able to get it a good drift and present well. So if you don't get a fish within the first 3-4 bow and arrow casts, and you really feel like you've covered every part of that pool accurately, it's pretty safe to say you can move on. Interesting. It looks kind of deep over there. Well, maybe not. Now you see I'm doing this bow and arrow cast. There's not really a reason I can't do a back cast here. There's plenty of room. But the bow and arrow cast is actually even a little more gentle than I could reliably make an ordinary cast. And so I'm going to prefer to use the bow and arrow cast. There we go. There we go. Let's get this guy in here. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely gorgeous brook trout. Gorgeous fish. This fish took the elk hair caddis right off the top. I mean, guys, are you kidding me with this fish? Look at how gorgeous that fish is. And this is a wild stream-born fish. Well, there you have it, guys. I mean, does it get any better than that? Sure, very small fish, but for a wild brookie, I would say that's about average size. Wild brookies have very difficult lives. They don't live that long. That's probably about an average size brookie. And can you believe how gorgeous those fish look? I mean, really, guys, it's hard to overstate how beautiful those fish are. Boy, it feels so good to catch those little fish. You know, and the funny thing is, I've caught so many fish over the last, month plus, almost all of which were stocked. There's something rewarding about catching a beautiful little wild fish like that you just don't get out of hitting a stocker stream. And that's not to put down fishing for stock trout. I love it, I enjoy it, I do it a lot. We all do, right? But there's something really special about going for these wild fish in the stream that they were born in that you just can't beat. You just can't beat it. So what I'm gonna do is head back down to the truck, and we're gonna drive a lot further downstream and then continue working our way up the same stream, just starting a lot further downstream than when I started here. Because if you'll recall, I didn't originally intend to stop this far up. I just happened to see it down the gorge, and it just looks so amazing. And I'm glad I did, because we got that first brookie to start off the day. But of course, I'm interested in going for more. So I'm not gonna waste any more time. I'm gonna hike back to my truck, and I got a little walk ahead of myself and then a little drive. But you know, for you guys, we're gonna be there right about now. Well guys, here we are. Tell you what, the GPS took me on a confusing, circuitous route. I feel like I just went around in circles in these dirt roads. Anyway, same stream, just a different length of it, and we're gonna see what else we can find. It's definitely a larger stream in this section for sure. So it must have received several tributary streams moving down from where you saw me fishing before. Uh-oh guys, well, it looks like this advance on the stream may end kind of quickly, because I think I see up there, looks like it might be fencing for like cattle or something like that. I may end up having to jump out of the stream here, go back up to the truck, drive a little bit further upstream, stop and get back in, but we'll see what it looks like when we get up there. Yeah, it looks like this is a gate so that cattle that are kind of grazing in these fields over here can walk down to the stream, maybe drink out of the stream without walking down the stream and I guess getting out of their grazing area. Well, that advance was abruptly stopped. You know, you come out to these little tiny streams kind of out in the country, and you know, you never do quite know what you're going to find or what you're going to bump into, so it's important to remain flexible. You know, I only walked about 100 feet from my truck, so I don't have a very long walk back, and I'm gonna hop in, drive a little further up the road, and try to find another good spot where I can enter the stream. All right guys, well, Secret Stream D yielded a fish really early in this outing. In the first 10 minutes of the outing, I got into a absolutely gorgeous wild brookie. And the action has been extraordinarily slow ever since. There could be any number of reasons for that. It could be that I was out there in late morning. Maybe the fish were really turning on at that time, and they've since shut off now that it's kind of gone to early afternoon. I don't know. I wish I could tell you that I knew what to make of it, but I don't. And sometimes you just have small streams like this that are temperamental. Sometimes they kind of have their own patterns and their own cycles, and if you're not really familiar with that stream and haven't fished it a lot, it'll throw you for a loop on occasion, and that's what Secret Stream D has done to me. Let's try to jump over to a different stream, another wild trout stream, and see if we can't get ourselves one more fish before the day is out. Alright guys, we're on to the next wild trout stream here, Secret Stream E, and I've got about an hour left here. I don't have a whole lot of time because I'm out in the Litchfield hills here. It's going to take me some time to drive back and get to the things I need to do today, but you know, I figure if at the first wild trout stream we had our first fish in about 10 minutes, hell, maybe we can get our first fish in 10 minutes here too, right? You can see this stream looks not unlike the last stream we were at. Crystal clear water, extremely rocky. Yeah, so a lot of this water that I've been going through isn't what I would consider particularly productive tops 2-3 inches deep. A lot of it is just barely coating the stream bed. We have a nice looking little pool up here. All right, I'm going to approach very, very quietly up here, making bow and arrow casts the whole way. That looks like a really nice spot right up underneath all those fallen trees. I'm gonna do the best I can to put a bow and arrow cast in there, but I'd say the odds are stacked against me here. It's much more likely that I'm going to be trying to pick my fly out from those branches in about 10 seconds. Oh, I got it in there. And there was nothing. A huge heron was up at some part of the stream, maybe 100 feet ahead of me. I just saw him. Large predatory birds like that do a number on any of the brookies in this stream that are anything but the most intelligent of the lot. All right, guys, here we are at a culvert pool. These culvert pools always look amazing, but they have proven complete failures the entire day. We've hit many of them. Not a single bump at any of these culvert pools. Is this culvert pool going to change that streak? Oh my gosh, a fish just hit up there. A fish just rose, hit at something on the top, right at the head of the pool. My fly was out there at the time, but it was a couple feet downstream of where he rose. There's definitely a fish out there. Still gonna work this pool. Oh my gosh, guys, you see that violent take off the top? Fish rose to something out there. I'm trying to fish this pool methodically. I don't just want to race towards the one rising fish and end up lining anything else that might be, oh my God, it hit again. It might be a little lower in the pool. All right, here we go. Got him, guys, got him. Got him. Oh my gosh, a freaking gem of a little brown. It's a very, very tiny trout, but what a gem. This fish took the dry fly. All right, let's let this little guy go. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to go, right? We came to this pool right here, saw that fish rising ferociously. You gotta keep your composure in a situation like that. You don't want to line any other fish that might be in the pool. We kept at it, fished the pool, calm, collected. The moment that I decided to place a cast up where I saw that fish rising, he immediately took that elk hair caddis and we got him. And what a little jewel of the Litchfield hills those little browns are. I mean, wow, guys, just such a gorgeous fish. I mean, we've had two extremely beautiful little fish today. Beautiful, wild, stream-born fish. Boy, what a privilege it has been. It's been a grind, but it's been a privilege. I'll tell you what, it really has. And when you're going for wild fish like this, it's not necessarily about the big fish, guys. It's for the experience. And it has been an experience today, I'll tell you what. But my goal was to get one more fish, and we've done it, guys. We've gotten ourselves 2 wild trout on 2 small unlisted streams here in Connecticut. So I think this is about high time I wrap it up and head back to my truck, get on with my day. It has been a pleasure to be out here in the hills questing after these wild fish. And you better believe I'll be back here again. But until next time, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you like what I'm doing out here and want to see more. And I'll see you guys in the water.